What's up, guys? My name is Spencer Turley, and this is my new custom track called Rainforest Trail. So definitely a cool track. I definitely wanted to spend a lot of time just making this track a lot how real trail tracks are. I just really took the time to make it narrow and different things like that. I know a lot of you guys were wanting more realistic trail tracks, more narrow kind of trail tracks. So that's what I really focused on with this track, is just to make it really narrow in a bunch of spots and just a lot like a trail track. So if you guys can't notice, there is actually some rain falling on the track, so it definitely adds to the just the overall feeling of the track. Rainforest, obviously, and but it adds to the vision. It kind of obstructs your vision a little bit in a couple of places, so it looks really good. So just a really awesome trail track. I don't know, I really took the time to make it right, you know. I put all the effort in, and if you guys are noticing these trees on the outside of the track, they are actually billboards. And if you didn't know, billboards, you can't actually run into those, but I put invisible statues right where the billboard trees are, so you can actually run into these trees. So it really, on some of these sections where I put the trees really close to the edge of the track, you can actually run into the trees, so it adds that real life dynamic element to it. If you guys have ever rode on real trail tracks, you're actually, when they're really tight, you're dodging the trees and kind of bouncing off the trees and stuff like that. So that happens in this track. All of the trees that are really close to the track, you can actually run into, so it's really cool. But the trees that are like a little bit further off the track, like not so close to the edge of the track, you can't actually run into those. They don't have statues with them. But the trees that are right on the track, you can actually run into those. So just an overall really cool trail track. I just really wanted to make it like real trails. And but if some of you guys are more motocrossy and you don't, this is probably not the track for you if you're not a trail guy, because this is a real trail track. Okay, there's a lot of sections where you got to get like totally slowed down in first gear and use your back brake to slide you around. You see right here, I kind of nicked that one tree, so it just adds that really cool element to the trees actually being collidable. So in this section right here is really interesting. It's pretty tricky. You kind of got to navigate your way through these different logs and stuff. I really like how this section came along here. So it's definitely cool trying to dodge all these different logs and different things. So just overall a really cool track. Any of you guys that love trail tracks, you're gonna love this track. It is a lot of fun. But like I was saying, see these trees right here in the middle of the track, you can actually run into those, so you kind of got to dodge those. And you see me kind of run into that tree when I kind of slid off the track there. So but these billboards, see, some billboards actually like move a lot when you look at them from different angles, so it would actually be kind of hard to put a statue there and run into it. But these billboards I've found actually don't move all that much, so where they look like they are, that's where the statue actually is. So that's where the tree actually is. That's where if you run into it, you'll fall off your bike. So anyways, let me kind of go into a little bit of third person view here. So this track actually has multiple different tile maps, or aka different fillings of the ground. I actually crashed right here, but so right here it's got a really cool waterfall right there, but this is actually a sand. It feels like light sand. It's not like super deep sand or anything, but it does feel like light sand on it. And on any of these sections that have water, it's pretty slick. You'll notice when you get on it, it's actually pretty tricky trying to ride on any of the water sections. But you can see right here me navigating through these different trees. And if I was to hit any like that one right there, I kind of nick the edge of it and it'll knock you off your bike. So you really got to navigate your way through trees. A lot of these sections are really tight. You got to learn how to use your back brake and just flow through all these different sections. So right here on this rock section, it feels totally different than any other part of the track. You got a whole lot more traction on this rock right here. So definitely cool. Then you come back down into this section. So anytime you see this dirt right here, it's what I call light mud. So it's not like, it's a little bit slicker than your average mud or your average dirt, but it's not that slick at all. I just wanted to kind of make it a little bit more realistic because it is raining. So it is a rainforest, so it's not going to be just like dry dirt or anything, but it's not like crazy slick or anything. It doesn't feel like the bike's like trying to slide out on you everywhere. It just kind of has a nice a little bit of slick feeling to it, so you can kind of slide your way around some of these different corners and sections and stuff. So just a really fun track. You guys, if you're any of you guys are trail fans, you're gonna love this track. It's just such a fun track, and a couple of cool like rock sections right here. And if you run down on the water, same thing right here on the water. If you run into it, it's quite a bit slicker than the normal dirt. So it's a lot of different dynamic things on this track that make it feel different everywhere, if you know what I'm saying. It's just got a lot of different things on it. So definitely a cool track, and I really enjoyed making it. It's exactly what I wanted to make, and just a lot of fun. And once you kind of get it down, it can be frustrating at first. It can be a little bit tough to kind of learn to ride on these really tight sections, but it will make you better at your cornering and everything, working on these super tight corners and stuff like that. So I actually got a little bit of rhythm through these logs right here this time around. So it's definitely cool. Once you hit it the first time, you kind of get it down. So and like I was saying, if I was to hit any of these trees off the track, it would actually knock me off the bike. I know a lot of people were going, yo, you can't hit billboards, but I put invisible statues of trees right where the billboards are, so you can actually run into them. So it's really cool. It just adds that dynamic element to it. When you get going really fast, it gets kind of scary, because you're like, you'll actually start like bowing up. Like if you've ever actually rode on a real trail track, when you get close to a tree, you kind of bow up and get ready for the impact, and sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. You'll actually find yourself doing that a lot, just playing this game, getting really close to the trees and stuff. So just a really fun track overall, and I should have the track link in the description in a day or two or something like that, so you can always come back to the video and look for it. But just a really fun track. And yeah, so that's it for this video, guys, and appreciate all you guys watching. Thanks.